Hello and good evening, everyone. This is Mother Teresa. It's time to grandstand. It's Tuesday night, 7 o'clock. Let's get this started. I hope you all have had a great day, a great week so far. And I just know that the rest of your week is going to be even better. So, for those of you all that are joining me for the very first time, I am Mother Teresa, and I enjoy coming on to Grandstand with you all on Mondays for my Monday motivation, and also on Tuesdays at 7 o'clock for Grandstanding with Mother Teresa. And basically, we just take what I discussed on Monday, we just take it a step further, and we just kind of dive into that topic a little bit further and give you an opportunity to come in and comment on what we're discussing and just grandstand. This notion of grandstanding was born over a year ago. And it was basically my thoughts to give a platform or have a platform for grandparents or mothers to, and just parents in general, to just grandstand about the great things that is happening in your lives. And you may say, what is grandstand? And I think a grandstand is something else. But for my interpretation of grandstanding is telling the grand things that's happening. So that's what we're going to do. And when I try to come on, this is my week number 6 that I have been coming on at 7 o'clock and just sharing a little bit of tips and tidbits about just life in general. It can range from being stressed out to how do you take care of being stressed out? What are the things that you like to do? What are the things you enjoy doing? What are the things that you're struggling with? So we want to talk about those things, give a platform for that, and then also provide some practical tips. As I stated last week, I am a licensed social worker, but when I'm grandstanding with you all, that is not my role. My role is just to provide some tips and strategies for everyday practical living. So that's what we're going to be doing. Last week, we talked about lots of different things on last week, and we're going to actually build upon what we talked about last week this week. We're going to continue to talk about, the things that we do in our homes and the things that make our homes what they are, how to turn our house into a home. But on this tonight, we're going to be talking specifically about the guests are coming. Now, what are we going to do? Okay. So you have guests that are coming for the holidays. Are you ready? Is your house prepared? Are you mentally ready to have company and guests to come into your home? Sometimes we have guests that come from far and near that come and spend a little time with us during the holidays. And for me, of course, I love the holidays. I love spending time with my family, and any opportunity that I can get to be with them, I just enjoy it. And I will tell you that a lot of times when I am with my family, and I don't know about you, but a lot of times when I'm with my family, it just takes me back to my childhood. Kind of the roles that we played when we were children. Of course, I have older siblings, and then I have younger siblings. But my older sister Grace, she is I call her Amazing Grace, but probably when we were much younger, we didn't think there was anything amazing about Grace other than the fact that she knew how to keep us in line. My mom, worked. My mom was a single mom for a long time, and Grace was pretty much kind of like the heavy. And so, but guess what? I appreciate that so much now. I may not have appreciated it then, but I appreciate the stance that Grace took with us because she was just a child herself, and she was trying to be that big sister. And Grace, you did an amazing job. So thank you so very much. And speaking of my siblings, let me just tell you, once the month of October hits, all of my sisters will have birthdays starting in October, then November, and then December. That's all five girls. We have two in December, which is Grace and myself. Cynthia is in November, and Lakeisha is in November, and Carolyn is in October. And today is Cynthia's birthday, so happy birthday, Cynt. We love you. We hope you've had a great day on today. So let's get into it. Let's talk about it's the holidays. Our guests are coming. Is your house ready? Have you done all the necessary things that you need to do to prepare your home for your company, for your guests? And so last week we talked about doing like those 10-minute drills, those 1-minute drills in order to get your house ready for your guest. But guess what? There are some other things that you can be doing too in order to make sure that your house is ready for your guest. And as we are planning, because most of the time we don't necessarily have people that are just kind of popping up, where they just kind of pop up unexpectedly if they're coming to spend the night. Most of the time, you're going to know that they're coming. So you kind of plan for them to be there. And if you have had time to plan for them to be there, hopefully you've been able to make a list of the things that you need to take care of. There may be some things, some repairs that you need to do in your house. And so hopefully you've made a list of those things that you need to do. And again, we're just talking about practical things, okay? So maybe you've made a list of the things that you need to do to your home in order to get it ready and prepared for your guest. And on that list, if there are some things that you need to purchase, maybe there are some big ticket items, things that you've been wanting to do, maybe like paint that bedroom or whatever, and that is a big ticket item. A lot of times that may not be something that you have on your list for when the guests are coming, but it could be. That could be one of those projects you've been putting off for a long time, and guess what? Now you're having company to come, and so you want them to see that pretty new bedroom with that pretty new color. But after you make a list, take the necessary time and schedule things out to get them done on a timely basis. Don't try to put it all into the last week before your guests are coming. Schedule those things out. Put them on a schedule and get a little bit of things done at a time. Again, like I said, if you have some big ticket items that you need to do, you don't want to wait till the last minute to try to get those things done. And as you are scheduling those things out, sometimes when we are working in certain areas of our home, we can get started doing some things, and then guess what? We discovered that we want to do something else. Not only do we want to paint the walls, but we want to change the linen. We want to change the decor. We want to change the pictures on the walls. We want to add something new. Schedule those things out. Do not wait till the last minute to get those things done. Otherwise, you're going to be stressed. And I do know that a lot of times when the holiday season is upon us, not everybody gets into the holiday season. Some people, this is the absolute worst time for them because it is stressful. It could be stressful because you've lost loved ones. It could be stressful because you're having people in your home and you're not used to having them in your home. And then also it could be stressful because there may be some needed repairs that you're not really prepared to make, or it's just not a good time. We have things that's happening in our lives that, possibly could be associated with work. The children may not be on their best behavior. You and your husband or you and your wife may be at odds with each other. Lots of different things that can cause stress. So I would say just relax. Just relax. The holidays are, they come. We are so excited. We anticipate them coming, but they are here. It's one day and it's gone. We extend it by having, again, family that may kind of stay over for a couple of days, which is great if you can manage that. But if you can't manage that, don't feel guilty about it. Just let them know that now is not a good time. Hopefully next year we'll be able to do something different. Okay. I do know some people that take off for the holidays and they are away from their family. They're away from their friends. They just go somewhere else and enjoy another part of the country, another part of the city, another state or whatever. It's absolutely nothing wrong with that if that's what you choose to do. Okay, so getting back to what are some of the things that we can do to get our houses and our homes ready. Make sure you are stocking up on those necessary things. One of the things you absolutely do not want to run out of is toiletries. Don't want to run out of toiletries because that could be so embarrassing. You don't want to run out of food. You don't want to run out of anything that you're going to need to make sure that your guests feel comfortable. If you're needing to upgrade your linen, your towels, all of those types of things, take care of that before they show up, okay? Make sure that you have everything stocked. Make sure that your pantry is well stocked, okay? If they're going to have kids, if they have extra kids and you're not used to having children in your home, make sure that you go out and you get some of the snacks that maybe children would enjoy. Take into consideration if anyone is on like a special diet or something like that. Make sure that you have planned well in advance and stock up for your company that is coming. The other thing is if people have not been to your home before, you want to make sure that they feel comfortable. You want to make sure that they feel comfortable. So if you're having guests that's coming into your home for the very first time, make sure that they know where everything is situated in your home that is open for them to explore or to visit. If you have certain rooms that are off limits, make sure that they understand that this space is off limits, and you just have to be frank with them and say, this is a room that we typically don't have company in. It may be your office space that you keep, things in that you don't want anyone to bother with. And especially if they have young children, you may want to make sure that you explain to them the parameters of where they can freely roam around while they're at your home. But give them a tour of your home. Let them know where the laundry room is at, especially if they're going to be there for a couple of days. They may need to do some laundry, so make sure they know where that's at. Make sure they know where the pantry is at. Make sure they know where the refrigerator for the kitchen, and also give them, tips about, is it okay to go on your refrigerator? Is it okay to go on your pantry? And again, these are like, if these are, sometimes people their first time visiting with you in your home. If you've got family members that's typically at your home quite a bit, all of those things have already probably have been discussed. But make sure that they know where the things are. Make sure that they know where you keep the extra towels, the extra linen, if they need an extra blanket, if they need an extra pillow. Make sure that they know where all of those things are kept. So in the middle of the night, if you hear something or they may not want to disturb you, they can go and they can get those things for themselves. Okay, so have those extra linens, have those extra blankets. Make sure that you have talked to them and get a good feel of the temperature for the house. Get a good feel for how they are, if they're hot natured or if they're cold natured. I absolutely love going to visit at my daughter's house, but I can tell you they love it to be cold in their house. And I often, when I go in, I'm looking for a blanket. They keep a lot of little throw blankets. Well, we all keep a lot of little throw blankets at our house, at our homes, but I'm looking for a blanket because it's cold in there. And for me, I just know that I'm going to need a blanket, and they know that I'm going to need a blanket. And so that's something that we are prepared for. So make sure you have those little extra things that are there for your guest. And also I'm thinking about Chase. Chase was with me a couple of nights ago, and Chase has a bedroom that he normally sleeps in. But lately, Chase does not want to sleep in his bedroom. Chase would much rather sleep in our bedroom, because that's what he was used to and accustomed to when he was much younger. Then he moved into his bedroom, and then, of course, now he's back trying to get out of that bedroom, and he wants to be with us. But one thing that I can say is, because that bedroom is upstairs, make sure that you have lights or some type of what do you call those little lights that you put out? I can't even think of the name of it, but it's the little lights, the night lights. Yeah, the night lights. Hey, TJ, make sure you've got some night lights around for your younger kids that may be at your home, and even for your older adults. Sometimes because they're in a new environment, they may not know where everything is located. So make sure that you've got some lights on, or you've got some night lights that will give them light. So if they happen to get up during the course of the night, also make sure that your home is well ventilated. Going back to what I was saying about, when I go to my daughter's house, it's cold, but it's definitely well ventilated. So when your home is well ventilated, sometimes, we're not just talking about making sure it's cool or if it's warm, but also a lot of times maybe our house, if you cook in your home, sometimes different smells, will get trapped in your house. So make sure that it's ventilated, and so you have a very pleasant smell that's in your house. And a lot of times the different things that we put in our homes to make them smell fresh and clean, it not always does it do the trick. Sometimes it just mask it. So sometimes we have to open up those windows. We have to let that air breathe through the house or go through the house, and make sure that your home is smelling really nice and fresh and clean. Another good thing for that is to have fresh flowers. That's always a good thing to have in your home. I am so very grateful that I have flowers, rose bushes outside of my front door. And periodically, when they're in bloom, my husband will bring bouquets of flowers and roses, and he just puts them in the house. And so it's always that's just a nice gesture, something that I really appreciate. But it also makes your house smell really good. So make sure that you are providing things that not only keeps your house well ventilated, but also makes it smell fresh and clean for your guests as they're coming. Make sure that they know where the restrooms are and which restrooms and bathrooms that they will be utilizing for, getting their bath and everything like that. Typically in your homes, or in some of our homes, we have our personal restrooms and bathrooms, but then we also have our guest bathrooms. So make sure that they know which restrooms, bathrooms that they're supposed to be using. And again, make sure that it's well stocked. And so having all of these things that you have prepared for your guest should make for a really good time. So with that, and don't forget to declutter. If you've got a lot of clutter, now I'm in my office and I have a lot of different things in my office. What I try to do is declutter every now and then. Some of the things that we have that's in our homes, we need to get rid of it. So if you're going to have guests, that may be an excellent time to try to declutter and get rid of some things that's in your house to make your guests feel comfortable. And also it'll make you feel comfortable. The other things that I was going to share with you all is that for me, being able to do some of the we talked about doing some of the deep cleaning on Saturdays. You may not have that time to do that. So just make sure that those common spaces that you're going to have your guests in, that you've taken the time to try to clean those places. If you can make sure that you've dusted those surfaces. You may not dust every weekend, but try to go through and dust those surfaces. Make sure you get those cobwebs and those spider webs from those hidden places, because guess what? Those grandkids are going to find those spider webs. Chase loves to look for spider webs and bugs and everything like that. He would have probably hated it when we lived in Appleby, because that's where we lived. It was really out in the woods. It was all kind of critters everywhere. Chase would not have enjoyed that. But just make sure that you're kind of going through and you're giving your house a good, cleaning in order to enjoy your guests. Now, I've talked a lot about trying to get the house in order. How do you get you in order for your guests? How do you get yourself in a good place to receive your guests? Okay. So we We can do some things. We can make sure that we're, first of all, we're in a good place, that we are wanting to have guests. And again, like I stated, if you know that you are not in a good place, if you know that you are having some family issues or some issues at work, or you're just not in the mood for company, guess what? Let people know. Let people know. You know, in there once was a time that I think we felt like, and maybe some people still do, the holidays typically, it brings out the worst and it brings out the best. For those who really, really enjoy the holidays, the Christmas holidays, the Thanksgiving, any type of holidays. I have to tell you, I love Christmas. Christmas is absolutely, the Christmas season and everything about it is my absolute favorite time of the year. And I say that because, first of all, my birthday is in December. But also, not just that, but I typically will see the absolute best in in humans, in mankind. People are a little bit more kinder. They are a little bit more gentler. They are a little bit more giving. They are a little bit more forgiving. And we just see the heart of people a lot of times during the Christmas season. And so I love that. And not only do I love that, but I'm a giver. So I enjoy giving. I don't necessarily always have to be, or even have to be on the receiving end. If I give you something, I'm giving you something because I want to, not that I'm expecting anything in return. But as a giver, it does my heart glad to be able to give to people and also to see the expression on their face. But again, not everybody feels like that. Sometimes the Christmas holidays brings about depression for some, because again, they may not be with their family. They may have had some loved ones to pass on, and this may be the first Christmas that they're going to have without them, or the Christmas season just reminds them of the fact that they're not there. So be very mindful that not everybody gets into the Christmas season maybe like you do. And let's give them some grace. Let's make sure that we have some grace and mercy for those people, and have some grace for yourself. If you know that you are that type of person who just really would like for this day to hurry up and move on, then, make sure that other people around you, your family and your friends, understand that this just is not a good time for you. You don't have to shout it from the rooftops. You don't have to whatever. But the last thing that you would want to do is that you don't want to be the source that brings everybody else down. If you know that it's best for you to stay at home for a period of time, not that your family doesn't want to be, see you or spend that time with you, but as a family, we should understand. We should understand that for some of our family members, it's just not a good time for them. And we should be understanding. Sometimes some people do better with just one or two people versus having a house full of 30 or 40 people. And we have to be understanding of that. We also have to be understanding that sometimes that those people who push themselves to really come out and to be a part of the gathering, but when they say, hey, it's time for me to go, or I need to retreat, let's understand that they have probably had about all that they can stand. And so for them, it's easier for them to just pull themselves back and say, let me just go and let me just kind of, breathe again. So be mindful that not everyone will get into the spirit, maybe like you, and that is absolutely okay. We are helpers one to another, and we're with our family and with our friends. Yes, Net said overstimulated. Overstimulated is exactly right. And speaking of being overstimulated, remember, we have little children. We have little children. Not only are the adults possibly overstimulated, but our kids can be overstimulated as well. So we've got to make sure that we're planning for our house guests. If they are little children, Make sure that you're planning that there is some downtime for them. Maybe there's an area in the house or, outside on the back porch that they can just kind of go and pull away. And so they can kind of breathe again. So let's just make sure that we are not overstimulating everyone, that we are all taking care of ourselves. And as we're taking care of ourselves, we should definitely have a good time. We should be able to sit down and we should be able to laugh and talk and experience all the good things. Enjoy just being with our family. Again, I tell you, the holidays, the Thanksgiving and Christmas holidays are the absolute best for me. And I can say this because coming from a large family, I can recall spending time with my family, with my mom and my stepdad, and also with my brothers and sisters, with my nieces and nephews, with my husband, with his family, just with family in general. It was always such a nice time that Net says she can't wait. I can't wait either, Net. It was always such a nice time to be able to get together and just come. But I'm going to tell you, a lot of times when it's time to go home, my heart would just kind of get a little bit heavy because it's like, oh, I enjoyed that so much, but now everybody has to go home. And so you just kind of miss that. And for those that didn't have that growing up, I'm sorry, but I enjoy my family. You all can tell I really enjoy my family. And Net said she can't wait. I cannot wait either. Speaking of family and speaking of the holidays and how we interact with each other. One of the things that makes the holidays so very special is traditions. Some of the traditions that you've started or maybe as your family, and also some of the traditions that we've started as our family. We are a large family, and I come from a large family. Now, my husband did not come from a large family, but what we did when we were in Nacogdoches is that we wanted to be sure that we were spending time with both sides of our families. And then also we had come from a really large church congregation that we enjoyed being together. And so what we decided to do several years ago is that we would have our Caldwell Christmas party. And so we would invite different people to come out from the church, family members, and we would just have a good time. We would make sure that I would make sure that, everybody that came received a gift. You didn't have to bring a gift, but you were going to leave with something. Not only it was going to be, good food and fellowship, but you were going to leave with something in your hand. And I really miss that. Since we've been in Baytown, we don't have that. But what we have started doing is for Christmas Eve, what my family and I do is we have our sleepover. And so all of my family, we come together for Christmas Eve and we spend the night together. Now, let me just tell you, whew, as the Call Pepnor crew grows, it is definitely we have lots of fun. But we also, when I talk about planning and making sure that everything goes well, we just can't say, hey, we're going to get together and we're just going to, everybody show up. We're already talking, and we've been talking about what are the activities that we're going to do. What are some of the things that, what's going to be the meal? What's going to be the games that we're going to play? What's going to be the attire? What pajamas are we going to wear? What are we going to do where it's going to be a fun time for everyone? And in that planning, we have to plan for 60-year-olds. Hint, hint, hint. We have to plan for 40-year-olds. We have to plan for 30-year-olds. We have to plan for the 20-something group. We have to plan for the 8-year-old. We have to plan for the 4-year-old. And we have to plan for the 2-year-olds. So we have a wide variety or wide gap of people in age groups that we have to plan for. So as we are getting ready to embark upon another sleepover at Caldwell Manor, I am so looking forward to it. I know I just bypassed Thanksgiving, but I'm so looking forward to that as well. So I hope that as you all are planning for your holidays, for your having guests in your home, or you going to be a guest in someone else's home, that you all take some of these strategies and these tips and these, just thoughts, and make sure that you are ready. Make sure that Shekinah's ready to. Ned said, bless chaos. Absolutely. Make sure that you are ready. Make sure you are contributing to the fun. Make sure that you are ready mentally, emotionally, to be able to celebrate with your family. Because guess what? Family is all we have, you all. So thank you all once again for grandstanding with Mother Teresa. I always appreciate you all being here. Tell a friend about what we're talking about, what we're doing. Share this video. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe, like my channel. I have a YouTube channel. Go over there and like some of that. I have 2 journals that are available on Amazon. I'm working on another one, and I tell you, I'm just excited about the things that God is doing in my life. And not only in my life, but in the lives of my family and those that are connected with me. A quick shout out to Soul Peppers. Today, Soul Peppers introduced a new flavor. And it's befitting that we are talking about family on today to share that the name of their new flavor is Harmony. Isn't that amazing, you all? Harmony. Listen, y'all enjoy the rest of you all's night. And thank you again so very much for grandstanding with Mother Teresa. You all enjoy your evening. And I'll see you all on the next time. Bye-bye, everybody.